Arnold Schwarzenegger was born on July 30, 1947 in Austria to local police chief parents Gustav and Aurelia Jadrny Schwarzenegger. In 1938, Gustav first joined the Nazi Party and served as a military police officer in Germany during World War II. When the war ended, he contracted malaria and was deployed to Weiz in Australia, where he worked as a police officer for the rest of his life. Little Arnold was born into a severely strict household as a result of Nazi influence and was raised by his mother to be a devoted Roman Catholic. Whenever any of the children did something wrong or disobeyed their parents, he did not spare the rod. This ensured that Arnold and his siblings were disciplined whenever they misbehaved. As a result, by the time Arnold turned 14, he always comported himself properly in school, was preoccupied with education, and rose to be the top of his class. However, the discipline he faced at home was skewed. Arnold's father, Gustav, who was also an alcoholic, believed that Arnold wasn't his biological son, so he favored Arnold's older brother, Meinhard, over Arnold, who at the time was gangly and seemingly less athletic. This led Gustav beating and intimidating Arnold on several occasions, and he often pitted the two boys against each other. To escape the constant torment, Arnold turned his attention to movies and became enamored by bodybuilder and movie star Reg Park. This actor's movies instilled in Arnold an obsession with America and hoped that he had a future there. While he was in school, young Arnold decided to start working on his body. He participated in competitive sports, beginning with soccer, and he trained to become better as a soccer player. He underwent all-round physical development. This was all to pave the way to his bodybuilding dreams, but it wouldn't be so easy. When his choice to become a bodybuilder became known to his parents, all hell broke loose. They already had different career choices in store for him, and it sure wasn't bodybuilding. Gustav wanted Arnold to walk the path of law enforcement so that he could become a police officer just like him. On the other hand, Aurelia wanted Arnold to study trade in college. As the tug of war went on, Arnold remained resolute in his decision to take his bodybuilding career to greater heights, with or without his parents' consent, and was already prepared for the consequences of his actions. The second hurdle was getting to America. Arnold knew that if he was to leave, he needed to stop being dependent on his parents. In 1965, he served in the army in Austria to fulfill the required 1 year of service that all 18-year-old Austrian males were to go through. During his service, he continued to work on his body. His answer for putting his foot in the door of America came in the form of Joe Welder, the man behind the organization that sponsored Mr. Olympia and Mr. Universe contests, the International Federation of Bodybuilding. Joe fell in love with Arnold's sense of humor, bravado, and the unlimited potential he saw in the young boy, so he decided to take him in. As Arnold was still serving in Austria, one day he ran away in an attempt to skip military training but was caught shortly after and was imprisoned for 1 week. When the year of service ended, Arnold immersed himself into his bodybuilding career and competed in many European bodybuilding competitions, some of which he won first place and others second. He was then voted the best built man in Europe, and this was where his rise to fame began. Arnold didn't slack in his training and would go on to have an unprecedented 5 wins at the Mr. Universe competition as well as 6 Mr. Olympia crowns throughout his career as a bodybuilder. In 1966, Arnold finally got on his first plane, and by the next year, when he turned 20, he earned the Mr. Universe title, making him the youngest person ever to win the title. By 1968, Arnold finally immigrated to America and set his mind to propelling bodybuilding as a sport into the mainstream. Yet again, he won another Mr. Universe title. In 1970, Arnold competed and won the Mr. Olympia contest at the age of 23 and created yet another record for being the youngest person to earn the title. In America, Arnold believed that there were more opportunities in store for him besides bodybuilding. He became interested in acting and would finally make the switch to Hollywood in the early 1970s when he bagged the lead role in the movies Hercules in New York. This success was short-lived, however, because he then began to face difficulties in being called for other roles as a result of his massive size. He said, and I quote, "It was very difficult for me in the beginning. I was told by agents and casting people that my body was too weird, that I had a funny accent, and that my name was too long. You name it, and they told me I had to change it. Everywhere I turned, I was told I had no chance." But Arnold didn't give up. He starred in even more bodybuilding-themed movies just to draw attention to himself and boost his acting portfolio. His chance finally came in 1982 when he was cast for the role of Conan in the epic Conan the Barbarian movie, which turned out to be a hit at the box office. It was quickly followed by the sequel in 1984, Conan the Destroyer. Though this movie wasn't a big hit as the first, he went on to star in movies like The Terminator in 1984, Commando 1985, and among many other movies, Total Recall in 1990, which earned him $10 million. However, Arnold's commercial peak came as a result of his role in Terminator 2 Judgment Day, which in 1991 became the highest-grossing movie. Back in 1986, Arnold married the niece of the former American President John F. Kennedy by the name Mariah Shriver. Mariah was also an American journalist at the time, and in years to come, the marriage was blessed with 4 children: Catherine Eunice, Christiana, Patrick, and Christopher. Unfortunately, the couple was divorced 25 years later in 2011 after Arnold's scandalous acknowledgement that he was the father of a baby born by a member of the household staff serving the family. His signature role in the Terminator series propelled him sky-high to the fame he had always dreamed of. In 2003, Arnold once again set his sights to a different stage: Governor of California. Even though the state was mired in various budget woes, he threw his hat in the ring for the race to governorship against all odds, and despite his foreign background, Arnold won the seat. Arnold didn't relax when he became governor. He brought his unique confidence and worked hard to improve the financial situation in the state. He went even further to promote new businesses and work to protect the environment. 3 years later, Arnold was easily voted in during the re-election. Many years later, in 2010, Arnold returned to Hollywood to star in the movie The Expendables alongside with other stars like Jason Statham, Jet Li, Bruce Willis, and Sylvester Stallone. In August 2012, the cast once again reunited for the sequel, The Expendables 2. And in only 1 week after the movie premiere, it shot up to the top spot at the box office, raking in a whopping $28.6 million. In March 2018, Arnold underwent a heart surgery in Los Angeles, which was successful. He was reported to have woken up saying, "I'm back," with a familiar nod from his famous Terminator character. His determination and passion drove him through his bodybuilding career to his career in Hollywood. He wouldn't be the Arnold Schwarzenegger that we know today without these attributes. Thank you very much for watching our videos. We'd like to give you another interesting video for you to enjoy next. But before then, our team will be very happy if you can like this video and share it with your friends on social media. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss other interesting videos like this. Look at your screen now to see 2 other interesting videos we handpicked for you to enjoy next. We love you.